If you've been sitting on the edge of your seat ready to reinvent your life, why wait any longer?
We've gathered a group of experts to help you get started. Marcy Albaher is the vice president for Encore.org, dedicated to promoting second act careers with a social purpose.
And our friend Leslie Jane Seymour is the editor-in-chief of More Magazine and is behind More's 287 Secrets for Reinventing Your Life. I hope we have enough time.
She's here a lot.
Because you know why?
She's sleeping with somebody. And Gina Scarda went from being a police officer to a performer and a stand-up comedian. Great stories, all of you ladies. Welcome, especially you.
Yes. Now, Marcy, you were a lawyer. You were a lawyer for the first 10 years, and when you get locked into something, you kind of become identified with it, don't you?
Sure. Yeah. And you also hang around with a lot of other people like you.
Right.
But that's a high-powered position that you worked very hard, probably spent an awful lot of money to achieve. Why were you not happy?
Because it wasn't that fulfilling, and I wasn't doing work I wanted to do, and I had other passions, and I wanted to be a writer, and I kind of made steps in that direction.
Little steps, though.
Little steps at first, like hanging around with new people.
Leslie, I think some people get afraid because this is what they know, and what they don't know is out there. Obviously you need a paycheck. I mean, you can't just up and quit something and start something. Right. What advice do you have for people who are kind of on the fence?
Well, I mean, first thing you can do, what our readers say is the hardest thing is finding out what it is you want to do. Like, she knew what she wanted to do next. It's a crazy thing, but we call it creating a board of directors. Yeah. And you get good friends, current friends, maybe somebody who's worked with you, and then go back to your childhood. Because sometimes there are a lot of dreams you left in your childhood, some for good, some for bad.
But they're there for a reason.
Right. But they need to remind you of things you might have left behind, and then you put them together, and they give you thoughts about what you've sort of left behind.
Gina, you have an interesting story.
Gina's
I mean, were you as a young girl wanting to be a performer, and then all of a sudden, I think I'll go into police work? I mean, how'd that happen?
I think the bug for performing was always in me, but the police officer thing, no. That was kind of, my friend was going to take a test. I said, all right. I always went with the flow, and this just came about.
So you're a police officer for years.
20 years.
Okay, so you did have your pension. So when you were trying out the stand-up comedian route, you were okay financially. It was just something that you had to have courage to do, right?
Well, I would have been okay financially if I didn't decide to open up a business and I retired and lose everything. So I should have really went back to work, but I did take a big leap of faith. And, like you're saying, fear is...
Fear is the worst paralysis.
Yeah. It really is.
And how'd you overcome that? Because a lot of people couldn't do it.
I just did it. I went and I took a class, and you just have to do the scariest things.
So it wasn't just one time you got up on a dare from friends and some night at a club, and so you went to school for it. Good for you.
I did, but this is because...
How do you learn how to be funny?
That has to come naturally, I guess.
Now, Leslie, what are some of the biggest obstacles women face? Because a lot of women do want to make the change. We're talking about fear as one of them.
Well,
what else?
You have to have money. Remember that depending on the situation you're in, I mean, what we say is you've got to plan for at least a year of transition. So you should have saved a lot of money.
Yeah, the other problem, don't save these days.
The other problem, if you're a woman, you have your whole network around you, your family. Sometimes there's resistance to change among the spouse. It's like, oh no, I know you the way you are. I love you, but don't change.
Did you find that, Marcy?
No, I mean, I think if you find some naysayers in your midst, I mean, it's time to start spending some time with people who are going to support you and encourage you and are going to embrace seeing the new you. Well, maybe don't talk about your transition so much with the people who aren't so supportive.
Because everybody likes to be with a winner, don't they?
But that's the number one thing people also say, again, if we're doing this book and we talk about reinvention a lot, is that there are a lot of naysayers out there. And it's not that they really want you ill. It's that they're afraid that when you change, that means I have to change too. And all those dreams that I had that I've been suppressing, I have to now deal with it.
That can be threatening.
All
right. Ladies, thank you. Thanks for coming to see us.
Congratulations to all of you.